are Nigerians, are the people. Because at the end of the day, our office is the most powerful office. This is not a call for protest or a call for any of the nefarious activities, any of those. No, it's a call for strategic engagement. It's a call to start becoming intentional about how we organize, how we recruit and find credible leaders, not just at the presidency, but across 1,534 positions. It's about how we reform political parties to ensure that they represent us. Not a situation whereby one person will come, buy forms, and have a situation whereby one person would be responsible for all the people who are in the state who run for a state House of Representative, or the bankroll people who run for Senate, House of Representative. In that situation, what would happen is that they will not represent you. I don't know if they don't represent you because they're going to represent the interest that put them there, the people that bankroll them, the people that funded them, because they know that tomorrow, that is their constituency. We are not their constituency. So how do we find a new class of people, a new class of leaders, enable them to have platforms that they run on, and they go in there and they represent us. We hold them accountable because they're not being bankrolled by anybody. They're being bankrolled by me, you. So that's something I'm really, really excited and thinking about. How do we find them, and how can we also oppose intelligently, engage intelligently the current status quo? So I'm really excited about this piece. I'm looking forward to the input that would come from this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Century. To my next co-host, Sheikh Analo. Go ahead, please.
Okay, hi everybody. And
hi.
It's hard because I think today we've just been told that.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm currently on space. I'm doing a space conversation to say,
and they would go as far as possible.
Do we need to build a people's opposition? We've waited for opposition to do this. We waited for PDP. We've waited for ABGA, Labour, AAC, all of the parties that we have, all the this thing. But they are not giving us the thing that we need. Just see what happened today. Two-thirds is what is needed. For you to get two-thirds, APC does not have two-thirds. It needs PDP lawmakers, Labour Party lawmakers, and others to be able to make two-thirds. Yet they passed that thing. It's not, if it was a common majority, that's easy to pass. But for me, I'm not here to rant. I'm here to get to work. Give it to them. They put in the work. Sure, we are seeing now that $25,000 was shared. Yes, that's what he's saying. They work so hard.
Are we going to say the same of ourselves?
No, we don't work hard.
How do we work to achieve?
We just talk.
Of the last 48 hours. And let us ask ourselves, how much hard did we work to achieve the result? These guys probably have not slept. They've been moving from meetings to meetings and all of that. Same thing. We are approaching 2027. How many of us here already have our candidate in mind to say, I am thinking this is the person that should represent me. This is the person that's going to speak my mind. How many of us even have a political party that
honestly, Clark, it's so, I'm just so, in short, since my body just weak, I'm just like,
I've been so
at least let it even be harder.
Right now, I am no longer, because I feel like we as citizens enable them.
There's no opposition. I'm telling you, once they get there, they are all, you said it all, Clark, once they get there, they are all in together. The rest of us are just here fooling ourselves. We'll see that we'll put all the energy to get them into office, and they get there, they forget about people. 4 years from now, they will come again.
It is not enough to wait until people come to us to tell us, I want to run for office.
Imagine, 3 Nigerian soldiers have been executed by terrorists. They've not declared state of emergency there.
Oh, you know what?
Don't people are being killed every day like chicken. They've not declared state of emergency.
We start carrying their banners and planners and all that. At what point are we going to start setting the parameters with which we are going to nominate people to say, no, this person has been doing so well. When is the people's mandate going to be, this person, you are the one we want to come and represent us? in our constituency, as against just waiting for these guys that have made it a business of going there and just doing whatever is in their own interest. So how we are able to start coming together, I think right now it is no longer time to talk. We've had enough talk. It is more than enough that we keep saying, oh, this person should have led, this person should have been at the forefront. No, I think it's time that, see, right now, anywhere you are, you need to put your hand in and say, see, I need to do my own bit. And what is your own bit? You can contribute something, no matter how little, and that's where I am at the moment. I just want to see actions. I am no longer waiting for anybody to be my lead political opposition leader. Right now, I am leading opposition for my own self, and I'm going to employ everybody that, see, let's all come together and let us start building this opposition. Because what we have right now, we cannot actually beat our chest that we have opposition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna, for that. And I really love how you put your submission. You let us all lead from wherever we are. Be the opposition leader from your line, even if it's your street, or wherever you can have that this thing. Be that opposition leader who is standing for Nigeria, who is looking at Nigeria. Like you said, let's look at it. The legislative arm of government is the most powerful arm of government. Nothing can be done. The executive, amongst the three arms of government, the executive is actually the weakest. Unfortunately, they are the ones that control money. And in Nigeria, the one that controls money has been the one that is taking over everything. So what we need to put in the work. I will call on Okechukwu. Please go ahead, please, and unmute yourself to speak. After Okechukwu, we have Adekoya, Violent, the Gunner. Yeah, so in that way. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am so glad to have popped up, and I had to stop everything because I'm much interested to know the way forward. First and foremost, I don't believe in too much talk. I believe in action and putting it at bay. And one thing I believe you should know, and I have to make it clear, everything to put down on paper, everybody look at it and run with it. With that, you can measure your effort and get the solution. Why am I saying this? To this whole thing is Nigerians. And the problem
they are receiving them. The one that pay me the most, $25,000.
So now,
you are a National Assembly member. You are representing your people. $25,000 is what you will sell your people for. With how much they are paying them?
All the tail to submerge the tail. Simple. In this volume we have, there are three sets of people in this volume. I'm so very pissed off because our problem is within us. Why? We have the yes, the no, and the yes, no. Where are we standing? I've observed so many things that all the years up to this moment. And one thing I found out, the recommendation to this whole thing, I bet you and I beat my chest. At this point, enough is enough. The time has come for this thing to
unblock your inner mind. Say we need a people's opposition party. I totally agree with you. Right now, the parties they have.
Please, can we just go back to the subject? Go back to the spectrum. That spectrum is set up a committee of think tanks. Within the 6 geopolitical zone, one person is 6. What is their duty to bring out? It is time bound. Provide an action plan proposal. They move from action plan proposal to put up a questionnaire that will generate the empirical statistics of who, when, how, what happened. With that, they can draw the Gantt chart stating at so time, this is what is supposed to be done. By who? Action by who? 2, this is what is supposed to be done. By who? Action by who? Then every statistics will be put up at bay. From there, you will see it. You see the solution are there clear. No need of struggle. No need. It is to turn the table. I beat my chest to it. And I'm telling you out of what is on ground and the statistics and research what has gone underground.
Osas says we need activists in the Senate and House of. I tell you, because activists, advocates in many countries, they are the ones that go to House of Legislative, lawyers. Then the technocrats are the ones executive, because the legislative is supposed to hold the executive accountable.
Actually, our issue. And this is what I can find out that we can do. And not what I'm reading, and what Aisha is saying, and what she has been saying, other people have been saying, and some of this, I said, everything centered in one thing. We will not fight or quarrel with anybody, but we will calculate their sentimentality, which may cause harassment and hikamika. And that is what is happening today. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okechukwu. Thank you so much for that. I did take down a lot of the things you talked about, with setting up a committee that should be turned back, provide action plan, give an action plan proposal, questionnaire of what happened, drawing out a chart of what to be done and by whom, and setting up this thing of all the 6 geopolitical zones. So thank you so much. The next person is Adekoya. Please also, let's remember, this is about what are the things that we can do, and then let's get to work. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Adekoya.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
We are joking, though. Jacob. We are, in short,
48 hours having these mixed feelings about
the last time I felt like this,
in the country. It's unfortunate that
was when that 2023, when the results, they were changing our result and all of that.
I put up a tweet and I think I tagged them saying we have to take our country back now, and we need leaders to do so. But
they are all the same.
Quite unfortunate.
To Ted.
They are not ready to lead us.
And he passed. To Ted.
And we have to do it ourselves. We, the Nigerian people, have to take this course upon ourselves, to lead ourselves, sensitize ourselves. In our region, every part of the country, sensitize ourselves, build more people, gather more people together. We have the House of Assembly, we have senators representing different places, but it's so unfortunate that they will put their head in the same place. All of them will face the same.
So I'm trying to write down.
Without looking back.
Honestly, Clark, he passed effortlessly.
Without looking back.
Like knife cutting butter. Pia, smooth. Hey. At least let them even try. They now stopped it. Then maybe in a few months again, or maybe few weeks, Tinubu will come back again and put it again. Then they will not say that's when he passed. No, he just passed it.
And this removal of a state governor happens, he will be the one at the forefront of the protest. But unfortunately, our opposition leaders will not do this. It is not our situation in this country has gone past protest, because these leaders have seen us, they know us, and they know how to deal with us. They know they will do these things. We will come online, rant. After about a week, we will all forget about it and follow another trending topic. They know how to do these things. They perfectly know how to do these things. One of the things I would suggest is, as a people, we gather ourselves in our region, in our locality, choose the best competent people. Let us now start to join political parties, not just any other political party. We need to do our due diligence, join a political party, bring a representative that is God-fearing, that has all the quality of a leader, that is not going to compromise for any reason, for
Allah.
money, for
Real joke.
whatsoever reason.
Huh?
We know people in our localities that will do this.
Okay.
But because we all know that, okay, APC, PDP, these are the big parties that will bring candidates and win. We are not ready to try new things in Nigeria, and we need to try new things.
Thank you so much.
People, we have to come together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adekoya. And I think from what I heard you say we need to lead ourselves, sensitize ourselves, gather more people together into region, in locality, and also choose competent candidates, and also look for how to join a political party, but not just anyhow party. And I love the way when you talked about the fact that we just say that, oh, it's certain parties that will win, and we don't try new people. We need to do that. Thank you so much for that. The next person I believe is Violet. Yeah, Violet, go ahead, please.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank
Good
you
afternoon.
very much, ma'am, for giving me the speak. I mean, I'm usually here to learn and then add a few of my limited wisdom. But so far, a lot of what everyone is saying has been really resonating with me. And I just want to add a few things. I feel like most of all, it's not just political, right? We'll have to work hand in hand with social challenges as well, not just in River State, but the entire state, you know, because all these issues from governance, resource management, all these things, ethnic tensions, corruption, economic inequality, all these different things are what tie up to why it seems like one sect is getting so much power while we're left stranded, right? And if we want to be realistic, we have to tackle each of these things independently, and then it starts to create like a ripple effect rather than just attacking it randomly, right? So also we need to start strengthening institutions. I was watching a video just yesterday about a preacher that was like, he was just calling out the Supreme Courts, and he was like, you guys are just there, like nothing is happening, you know, like the powers are both.
Sorry, everyone. So I'm just trying to take notes, because for us this is about action. Please, if you also have something, write it down.
Why is it that the Supreme Court is not really doing anything at this point? You're not hearing literally anything.
Okay, early voters.
So I think
Michael is talking about early voters.
Okay. They need to work independently. Nothing should connect them at all to the executive government. You know, that way they can enforce the rule of law and ensure accountability. We also need to like bring out accountability systems that are independent as well of the government and all of these things. If the highest head there alters any law, there should be systems that will work internally, just like how ideally it's supposed to be the House of Assembly that is supposed to vote Governor's thing out. And you saw how that was bypassed, right? So we need to make it independent. The House of Assembly needs to be independent. Everything has to be independent, decentralized, every single thing, so that they can enforce the rule of law, ensure accountability and transparency as well. When we're listening to hearing, they should allow the full, journalists to go in there and record every session. We see this in developed countries, where just random cases and the whole media is just all about things. And then you enter certain places and they're saying, oh, cameras are not allowed here. Why? Why are cameras not allowed here? And then economic development, obviously, poverty is one of the key things that are causing us to be crippled. Because people say, now, who don't chop? They tackle all these issues. And that's the truth, not even in the literal sense, like generally. Lots of the people running up and down, and not just poor in pockets, but poor in mind. They haven't eaten enough knowledge to even understand. Most people are obtuse, sorry, right? So they don't really even understand what's going on. And what time would they even have to understand that? Because they lack education, so already they are part of the people to put food on the table and all of those things, right? Or if you now start talking about job creation, how do we go about it? Investment in infrastructure, how do we go about it? By citizens ourselves. You see people bringing in, opportunities here. We should do more of that rather than just traveling abroad. We should bring in opportunities here. We should bring in more opportunities to people. We should educate people, maybe not in schools if they are beyond that, but with different kinds of skills that would help them to feel more in a position where they can now look beyond the basic needs, right? So we can start this within ourselves by supporting small businesses, right? These days, if I want to do interior decor, I don't go to all those big shops that imports Italian wood, all those things. I go to the student fine arts department and I say, oh, who's the best person that crafts here? And then I say, oh, I want to use you as my interior decorator. Come here and do this. You see them very grateful. I think that's what kickstarted someone else's business. The same thing. I said,
So
oh,
Chido is saying early vetting
student.
of
Okay, let me
competent people
patronize
to
you.
fill up the
And that just
Senate and House
inspired
of
this person
Assembly.
to be like,
With this
give
caliber of
them the
people in Senate and
confidence
House
to
of Assembly, they
spell to
can even
people, quote unquote,
compete.
in my
If we succeed to fine,
income
yeah,
line or whatever. How do they put
that's
it?
another early this thing.
Right? These are the things that encourage people to show up, giving them the confidence to take up space in society.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't take up space. And then things like ethics and religious harmony as well. Like, in as much as a lot of us have strong beliefs and all those things, we should still recognize the fact that there's power in the numbers. Let's promote dialogue that understands diversity. We go abroad and we say, oh, there's racism, but we are at the heat of it here with ethnicity, problems, and religious things. We should encourage things like this. We should talk about it. Hi, what's your culture like? What's your religion like?
Okay.
I was very privileged to come from a family where we read from different religions, different sorts of religions. So when people are talking about things, we don't discuss it from a place of attacking you. No,
Okay,
it is
OP
not
is
this one,
saying,
that one.
I want to
We say,
suggest
okay, yes, I've
registration
actually
of a
read
new
this. I've
party
read
ahead of
Book of Mormon, I've read the
2027.
Quran, I've read this, I've read that. So I can see where you're coming from. And then we can relate with people on that level. When people, you speak to people, when people see that, okay, you can relate to them on things that they hold dear to themselves, there starts to be some sort of interoperability with how people exist.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think few points that I have a lot to say, but these are just few points I feel like would help us intrinsically. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Violent, for all that. Some of the things that I did capture from what you were saying, that we need to, okay, there are a lot of challenges in terms of resource management, ethnic tension, corruption, and we need to tackle the ills in the nation to create a ripple effect. Strengthen institutions, separation of power, rule of law, economic development. But most importantly, where you talk about helping people to, take up spaces and educate people. There are people who are not necessarily about poverty of they don't have money, but also poverty of the mind. I'm just taking notes because, as I say, we are curating this and just putting them together. Working is all about action. We need to put in the work. Thank you so much, Vale. I think, Ghana, you're the next. Yeah, you're the next to speak. Go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for it. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. And I do have my heart to you, particularly Aisha. Just a
Okay, fantastic. That's a good one. Oh, sorry. I didn't get that. Sorry, I didn't. Hello?
I said I am just like you, a cosmopolitan northerner, just like you.
Oh, okay. Well done. I didn't realize that my this thing was still on. We can't hear you, the gunner. Or am I the only one who can hear him?
No, I know it's not just a technical glitch.
Oh, okay.
I said I'm a politician, a grassroots politician, as different from you. You are an activist. Are you getting my message? Am I still up
Yeah,
here?
so we are working on what are the solutions, what do we need to do where we are in Nigeria today. So that's what we are curating, the things that need to be done as it is. Every one of us is affected. So what are the things that we can do to get out of where we are right now?
I am a realistic person. I can't tell you what we can do now because you people have already been doing it. But somehow you fell prey to petty people. Nigeria is about a country of a population of about 200 million people. Only about 20 or 15% of it are truly educated. You people are the leaders, the activists. You are the leaders. What you are doing matters, but sometimes you get carried away because if people attack you, what have you?
Oh, okay. So the gunner, you understand? You were here. I realized. I remember seeing you at the beginning of the conversation. It's not about you, me, whatever. We are all leaders here, and our country is at a place where we need solutions. So can you go ahead and give us? If you don't have the solution, it's perfectly okay. You can continue listening. Maybe you come in later, raise your hand. Let's get other people because we are taking notes. We need to get to work.
I was hoping you just give me just these 5 minutes to land, and I will not talk much of it.
No, so if you're not proffering the solution, if you're telling when we can talk another time and you can tell me what I've done wrong and what I've done right, then can we just provide the solutions now? I said that at the beginning of this conversation. We're not going to have the usual banter and on. We need to find solutions. We're taking them down.
I am not anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. I am just speaking generally.
Okay.
Okay, the gunner, can you make your point, please? Let's just move it forward. I have to give example for people to understand. Okay, so please. Simple example is Mr. Peter Obi. With all the banter thrown at him, with all the rubbish, with all the sentiment thrown at him, it didn't bother him. He kept still going. Do you understand me? He said he's going throughout the country, every nook and corner. He doesn't care about all the banters or the stupid talk been thrown at him. He is now the true face of Igbo politics. He single-handedly brought back the Igbo nation into the mainstream politics in Nigeria. That is activism. That is politics. This is what I'm trying to point out. As an example, Aisha, you did your bit in 2014. A lot of people look up to you. You are the kind of people that had Buhari came to power. They don't have any power. It's just a coalition of individuals looking for power. But you give people confidence. That was how they came into power. Somebody like Sori, who has been contesting more than once for the president of this country, it's not about winning. But his message is resonating with some of us that are really educated enough to understand. He pulled a master stroke and High Court in Abuja.
Hello, Ghana. In as much as I don't want to interrupt you, we are looking for solutions. What we need to do. You're not telling me when we come to history class, we will then bring you in. Unfortunately, I just have to mute because I said this at the beginning. This is about us. We've done this. We've done a lot of spaces where we had this conversation. This is about us now, proffering solutions. And you can see I'm taking notes. Violet spoke. Adekoya spoke. Mr. Okechukwu spoke. I took notes. I want to take notes on what we need to do. Thank you so much. When you have that, could you please raise your hand again? Ubaka, go ahead, please, to speak. Then I'll come to, I think, Anike. Yeah, Ubaka, please. Thank you.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I want to first of all say some things about Nigeria as a nation. So, the current thing happening in Rivers State, I mean, it's something that
We need
every
solution.
Nigerian
I
needs
said
to
this
think
thing at the
about.
beginning. Let's talk about what we
We need to
do.
think
What
about
can we do? See, you guys
the
have been
fact that
putting your solution.
these
Now,
things
I'm
are
writing
happening
them now.
and they're happening
You're
over and
telling me
over again.
story and whatever. You want to hear
We're
your
not
voice.
speaking out. I mean, when I say we're not speaking out, is I'm not saying speaking regarding what is happening between a godfather and a son. I mean, for example, they had an election in Rivers State in 2023, which Hilda Dokubo was running for Labour Party, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And we all know what happened in that election. The election was rigged, right? And it was rigged in favor of Fubara, which was the governor of Rivers State, right? And many of us were upset about that because we really wanted good minds to come into the government and change our situation. And we said, okay, under the leadership of, Peter Obi and Aisha too, we said, all right, let Hilda Dokubo be the representative in representing Labour Party in Rivers State, and the election was rigged. And today, there's anarchy right between father and son, and instead of Nigerians to come back, sit down, and re-strategize. What can we do as people since these things are happening? What can we do? We don't want to involve ourselves in what father and son is doing. What can we do as a people? Labour Party, I'll tell you the truth. Labour Party was the right platform for us to change our nation. If you watch the move.
Hello, Ubaka. So, yeah, what can we do? That's where we are right now. Tell us what we can do. We are taking notes. Because there are many people who want to come. We want to curate as many ideas as we can. So what can we do?
All right. For me, I would say let's stick to what we have. All right. I mean, the Labour Party era is actually fading. All right. So let's stick to what we have. I mean, if we as people can come out and say enough is enough, we want to move forward. We want things to change, right? And hold our leaders accountable. I think that's the best thing for me, because any leader that is coming, they have the Supreme Court backup. They have the judiciary backup. They all work hand in hand. I mean, let's forget about all these things we're just like saying. The politicians that we have in Nigeria are masterminders. They know how to take power. They know how to move. So we as a people, we have to be smart enough. Let's hold them accountable. That's all. I mean, there's no need of we talking about. Yeah, we have to hold them accountable. That's it. For me, I would say that. I mean, the Labour Party would have been the best way to change the whole thing, but since it's not going in that direction, I mean, do we want to form another party, SPD, or what do we want to do? I mean, it's going to take. Look at how long it took us. Obaka, can we just go straight to what's the solution you're profiling? Because you're saying hold them accountable. That's what we're thinking about. How do we hold them accountable? All right. So to hold them accountable, let's have some platforms where we can, first of all, educate Nigerians. Nigerians need to be educated politically. We need to educate them politically. Okay. And from there, we can pass a message across to Nigerians, based on the patterns of these politicians, educating them that this is how you ought to move. And you have to hold your leaders accountable, not when there is issue between Fubara and Wike, you run to Fubara and say, oh, yeah, Fubara. Okay. No, let's hold them accountable. Okay. So you hold them accountable, education. Yes. Is that your submission? Yeah, educate them. Educate them, yes. We need to educate them. I think sorry, Madam, just a few minutes, because I think we need to make these things very practical. You want to educate people, how do you platform? So we can have, there's somebody that came here and said he's a cosmopolitan. He was referring himself as a cosmopolitan in the north, right? Mm-hmm. So we have the north, we have the south, we have the east, we have the West. Let's start.
Profiles, we
Like
can
the
start a
movement
movement now that
where we
have
have
more
like
youth
some
involved.
platforms.
Okay.
We have platforms. I think
You
Labour
guys are
Party
giving
have
me solution
a
more. I think it's better when people
TV
write
station
than
or
when
something
people
like
talk.
that. If I can remember, I saw something like that. So let's have such platforms, and also these media representatives in Twitter, Instagram. We can take advantage of that instead of going to the side and say, oh, Aisha Buhari was one of the people that was
Thank
put
you,
there that brought
Africa.
in this person. You said and all those things. Let's use those platforms wisely to catch the attentions of Nigerians. That's what I'm trying to say actually. Because I think that's the best way to educate Nigerians. Because a lot of Nigerians, they are actually on this social media. If you check the statistics, Nigerians are on social media. Okay, so thank you very much. I think we'll just move the mic a bit faster please just appeal to the general house. This is not the time to start itemizing problems. We all know the problems. We've just seen our constitution being ripped apart and abused today. And what we're saying is that at the moment, we do not have something solid to counter the continuous
Honestly,
abuse
to me,
of our
it
constitution
matter
and our
tire
country.
me. But I'm
What we're saying
getting
here,
put
we
a
want to
reliable
see
people
very
there.
practical, hands-on solutions. How can we move step 1, step 2, step 3? And because there's quite a lot of people at the moment, there's a lot of people who are still requesting the mic. So if you get the mic, please consider yourself to be privileged among about 200 people who are here to get the mic. And please just go straight to the point. We will be giving about 2 to 3 minutes, and we will just ring the bell, please. Thank you very much. So I think if you want to speak, please just raise up your hand. Okay, Madam Aisha, you want to come in?
Yeah. So also to say that please, if you have this thing, curate them, write the ideas down. I'm also live on YouTube, and so they've been writing quite a number of what they want, like the solution, and so people are just writing this. So please also, if you have it, you just do that. Some of the solution coming from there, some are asking for there should be early voters registration, and they should search. There should be a situation where people are searching for for competent candidates that are going to run for office. Some are talking about registering a new political party. I think the last speaker also asked a question around that. And then there's also a suggestion for that a movement that has more youth in it. And someone is also talking about the fact that there should be a place where people can run for office, where they are not having to pay so much for party, is it nomination, this thing they call it, registration form, and all of that. So I just said, let me bring that. So please also, you could just go ahead and write those things that sometimes you are able to put a whole lot more solutions down when you're writing it down than when you're saying it. Thank you. Yeah, Anna, go ahead, please, with the coordination. I think Anike was the next person that I had called earlier. And I can see.
Just raise your hand. So
yeah, the hand is raised.
Okay. Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you, Aisha, for letting me, for giving me this opportunity to air my own view. I hope I can be heard, please.
Yes, you can be heard.
I think in Nigeria we have been docile enough. These leaders, they have taken us for granted, and they will continue doing this. One thing I know about our political leaders is that they don't know when to stop. I'm going to start from the solutions, right? What do we need to do as it is? I think we need massive mobilization, right? Massive mobilization in the sense that we have to mobilize by educating the masses, on the issue of we can recall those senators and those House of Rep. That's the only way we can hold those guys accountable. Nigerian politicians are the only people that when voted for, they are the employee, or they see themselves as demigods, which is absolute power. There is a saying that says that whatever you permit, you ignore, or you allow, you promote. We have promoted this misrule. They are flexing power anyhow.
I love the way this guy is talking, and you could see
in the diaspora,
he's
Aisha,
passionate.
You have your link. If there is a way that we can also protest, we need to organize protests in the sense that all these our leaders need to kind of spearhead it. So we need mobilization
massive protest, even when it comes to a kind of funding, we that are here, we also fund it down there because you know that protest takes a whole lot of things like what people will be eating and all that. Like we need to protest where it really matters, not like the last one that we did, because these guys, they are scared of, they are afraid of protest, you know. It's just that we have few people that are just there sitting on us and doing anyhow, you know. They think that they can get away with anything that they are doing. And another one is electoral reform, right? Without electoral reform, 2027 will come. There's nothing. These guys, they will sit inside the room. They will write the result and call it, and nothing will happen. If we hit these people protest from like we need to have people from all the regions. If we hit them, they cannot face all of us at the same front. It's impossible. So we need massive mobilization. You know, we need to educate people, letting them know, you know, what is going on. Because we no longer have constitution in that country. These guys, they are ready to tell you that blue is black and black is white, and which is what is going on right now. So what we need to do now is massive protest, because I know that if Tinubu is not there now, they would have organized massive protest as it is right now. So we need to organize protest to overturn what they see us in action, because we're always talking. We need to mind these people. You know, action for action, word for word, not just coming online and just giving our words and all that, because they have known us. Like we have lots of fantastically people that give speech in country without any action. Thank you, Miss Aisha.
Thank you so much. And I just love how you just did your submission, put it out there, action. I think, Anna, from the conversation we've had, from the people that are talking, there's this thing where they're talking about massive mobilization of people, bringing people together, talking to people, we need to do things. Is it possible for us to have a link or somewhere where we can, if anyone who is interested, because at the end of the day, this is not one person doing it. Aisha can't do anything alone. Analo can't do anything alone. Okay, Chukwu can't do anything alone. Because if we come together collectively, we're sharing ideas, we're looking at getting more people to join and doing our different bits in different places. That is how we're going to go on and work and get something done. One of the things I would say to every one of us is that we need to put in the work. We need to work. We've talk. We need to work. And for when you have someone and the person is defeating you, you need to sit back and say, what is this person doing? What is the person doing that they have an upper hand over us? One of the things that currently the people who have Nigeria hostage are doing that we are not doing is that they're coming together, they are working irrespective of their differences. They don't care. They will fight today, tomorrow you see them, they are sitting down based on their collective interest, they are working on it. We also must get to that place. It's not when we finish rescuing Nigeria, we can come back to our different beefs. But for now, it's to focus on the thing that we need to do for the country. So, Adnalo, is that something that we are able to do? Since we are talking about action, solution, it's not just to talk and say, go home, come back tomorrow. Is there a place, for example, that people can just say, where we can just put their names down or something, right? If it was a physical space, now we say we pass paper and biro around and write down names. Yeah,
that's fine. Something can be worked out while we're in this space. So once people are speaking, we'll just say, something will come out in a few minutes. Let's work on something.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. So go ahead and along with the coordination of the space.
Okay, so I think I'm just going to bring in more people. Let's try to be as succinct as the last speaker. Nganga, I think you're next, and then after you, I think we've got one through
Edo Boy,
and then Praise G, Alex. So please, other people on the space, if you've got the mic, please just raise your hand if you're going to speak, so that we can be able to clear those people who are not speaking and get more people up. All right, Nganga, you've got the mic, so please keep it very succinct. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good evening, everybody. I believe you can hear me, right?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay, so on the
okay, I'm trying. We should have groups in different states.
Before, so I'm just going to repeat it again. I've always said that the Nigerian Constitution is not strong enough. It does not prevent for things like this to happen. So the way forward is we need to replace the Constitution. To replace that Constitution, we need to come together and agree the new frameworks. Whether you're talking about electoral reform or you're talking about the structure, I personally don't like the three times government thing. So whichever thing that we're talking about, we need to put all this thing into a system to an extent.
So
It
Chinky
cannot be
Tim
about
says,
what I think or what I propose. It also has
so
to
let's go
compare with
grassroots
what
and
other
cities and
people
make them
think.
understand
So
what these
the
guys are.
solution
Okay.
is, first of all, is an aggregation point. What we don't have is a place for aggregation where we can all aggregate and
500k
even
people from each state.
disagree to agree or disagree. The Senate, for example, is only God that know what kind of things that went on behind the scene. But those were possible because there's an aggregation point. So we don't have an aggregation point. In the past few months, me and some other people we worked on creating aggregation point where we can even come together to share ideas, to share documents, to say, okay, can this work, can that work? But where I think we're having challenge, and which
Honestly,
is where
Nigeria has been
Nigerians really
hijacked.
need to wake up, is those who can. I know that the responsibility
Yeah,
of
we need structure.
drafting a new constitution, for example, is not an easy task, or to do a research on what the problem is. I understand it's not an easy task because I have done it, so I know how much financially and emotionally it took. But it's not really about those who can do that. There are people who what they can do is just, even if it means to just do a tweet. For some people, it can just be to do a video that, creates
Chido.
more awareness about
True.
their community and put those videos online. Or for some people, it can just be
Yeah, to reprogram our youth. Okay.
I don't know, financial contribution. For some people, it can be as simple as working towards the technology. For example, if we're going to do electoral reform, we can't just say we want electoral reform. You have to design the electoral reform, run a simulation on it. After you have finished that, then you can now push the document and say, I want this particular reform. Then people can now go on social media and say, we want plan A because we vetted on plan A. So without that, without all those background work, we cannot make it work. But where I want us to work together is, I understand that different people have different platforms that they are using, but we need to find a way to come together. And if we're going to maintain different platforms, no problem. I mean, the reason that I actually invested in a platform is because I've spoken with a lot of people. There was no platform that I could find where we can do that. But if there are other platforms, I don't have a problem with, let us merge them as long as we achieve what we want. We're not going to all agree politically. We're not going to all agree strategically, but we just need to agree to come together. That coming together is the critical thing. So I think that everybody that is listening here should, say to himself that the least you can do is, whenever you hear this call of come together, I'm going there. Whether it's whether I know what they're saying or I don't know what they're saying. As long as they're talking about building a better nation, I need to go there. So I think I'll just stop there for now.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's go to the next person, which is One True Edo Bo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Aisha, for this beautiful space. I would like to also be brief in my submissions. I think I have them listed out. First of all, just to continue from where the last speaker just spoke on, I think I have that as part of my point. I have that continuation. I think what we need to do, I think the problem we had from the NSAS, what's it called, youth movement, was the fact that we politicized the Labour Party movement, and that's why every time we try to organize a protest after the NSAS, they always try to politicize the protest for us.
So, Pansat, you want people to go on the street. You know, go on the street.
We need to build a force that's an opposition force.
You didn't say you're already on the street. People should join you. You are saying if they don't go lazy, I don't know, lazy you. Is it lazy you to want to
we are just calling for a better Nigeria.
So the thing is that we're always waiting for someone else to do it. No, we all have to do
I
it.
think that is why we are having one of the biggest problems as an opposition, because every time we try to build a uniform force. They come with this tribal and party politics to divide us. So it's time for us to put aside tribal and party politics and come to a uniform force. We have to find that igniting force that we had during NSAS, which was the common voice of Nigeria, irrespective of party. I think that move was, sorry to say, was a lukewarm move, moving that opposition into a Labour Party front, and that's why we are having the issue. Peter Obi is someone most of us that have known him is a quiet and docile person. So if you expect Peter Obi to be the one to lead the protest for you, you are just wasting your time. That is not his personality. So if you want to organize something that would be formidable, it has to be party independent. It has to be.
No, I don't want anything.
Whoever is there. Then my second point
I don't know. I'm trying to write.
Why we are trying to build.
I'm trying to write on this. I can't find it.
To create a database.
Because they are doing a link. If they are doing a link for those who want to join, if they do the link, I want to share it here. Let's join and begin to put the work together. It's no longer about just talking. We need to build ourselves. We need to build our structure.
An action like this, we should have had a counter action, like a recall process. By now, we should have been recalling some senators already by today. We should have been pushing for some senators. We know those people that, someone like Akpabi, we should have started a recall process in Cross River. If we have a database of loyal people that have the mind of good Nigeria, not party inclined. If one person is troubled, another person is troubled, the fourth person will sit up. The fact that people act and there's no repercussions to their actions is the reason why they continue in the action. And that is the problem with Nigerian politics. Our leaders know that there's no repercussion for any action they take. People are going to be docile about it. And now it's not a time for us to be to always hit the road. I'll try to be brief. It's not every time that we always hit the road like protest. They are legal ways to engage these persons. Yes, we know the constitution is failing, but who will not fail with the constitution? That is what gives us the advantage. We have to call for an uphold of the constitution. Whoever is not going to uphold our constitution, then the person should be recalled. Then to ground it up, we need to start, like other speakers have said, I'm just going to say, we need to sensitize our people the more. I watched a video of Senator Natasha when she was of our people we call it, when they say when she got there, they told the women there they were coming from an empowerment. That is the main.
Yes, we can recall. There's recall in the Nigerian constitution. It's just that the way they set it up is very difficult to actually achieve it. It's saying that you need 50% vote of the registered voters of that person from their constituency. And one of the things is that most of, that registration, in those days before they used to do this verification, parties used to just register people. You see one person, we have 40 names, 40 this thing, the same person. So they will have one name. So the registered is bloated. So by the time you go in real life, you can't get those numbers. That's why anytime you see we do election, the number of voters that turn out are very small. Even last year that people came out a lot. By the time you look at the percentage, it's not showing on the register. So that's why it's been difficult to do. Some of the things for me that I've been asking for in the electoral reform is that we should make it that it is 50% of the numbers that you got, the number of votes you got, that should be used to recall you.
Just hold on. Okay. Now, if we have people who can effectively lead opposition in terms of activism, they can effectively organize these things. Why is it that these people cannot be given the right to lead?
Okay.
Yeah, Alex, I see what you're saying. Very true.
Activism and politism is two different things.
Yeah, Blessing said this thing. The constitution is not the problem. The people that are to interpret the constitution is the problem. The judiciary, I know, very true. The judiciary started all of these things. Even in this River State, judiciary are part of the problem.
Activism does not have room for any of that. So the moment you move your activism from activism into politism, sorry, you are already corrupted. Let's not take that away from politics. You cannot be a full activist and be a politician. I'm sorry to say, you cannot be the two. The moment you go into politics, you will have to, would I say, dance, not corruptly, but
activism is more Puritan than the politicized. But if you look at, in terms of our constitution, so today, for example, the endorsement of the state of emergency was done by the politicians.
Yes.
The activists, irrespective of how they scream, irrespective of how they are out there, the only person that the constitution recognizes are the legislators.
Yes.
What protest we decide to do today, no matter what it takes, the worst that's still going to happen is you're still going to get to the point. NSAS, we were on the street for almost 14. So these are the questions. Should we continue in the line of activism, or we need to have a balance of and a mix of both? Thank you.
Okay. To round up, so we don't go back and forth. There's need for balance. There's always a need for balance. There's always a need for to have people who support our dreams.
Our judiciary is gone. Oh, it's crazy. It's gone. Advocate for judiciary free from political. Okay.
You cannot be the activist and the politician. Somebody has to be there checkmating you, the politician. Now, in this case of recall, like I said, if we had a very strong activism front with good numbers, some of these senators today would be on the recall process. That's activism. It's some senators that if you even support, even Labour Party will be on the, starting with the Labour Party senators, that is activism, because that looks like that's where we have our strength of numbers. If you put one or two persons in check, my brother, it's a balance of the two. But you cannot be in between. You cannot be a politician and an activist, and that's what one problem I think Sonore has every time. I drop it here.
Yeah, Anna, so let me just take this here a bit. So when I hear people say this, you cannot be an activist, you cannot be a politician. Who made anyone an activist? Who made anyone a politician? You know, I've said this severally. Nobody owes anybody activism. You see an issue, you don't like it, you speak against it, that's it. And when we make this thing, you know, I heard one through Edu, but when he said, the moment you do politics, you are corrupted. So it means invariably, we have this acceptance that politicians should be corrupt. That is a no-no. It is only in Nigeria that things like this happen. Do you see people, if people in the US and people in the UK and people where they are doing their politics well are saying, oh, politicians, it's okay for them to be corrupted, let them be stealing their money, you think they will have country that we are all aspiring to be at? No, they won't. You know, sometimes that's the thing about, sometimes before you know what's happening, you begin to give people room to actually do something. A politician will steal 1 billion naira. Nigerians say, he's a politician, they are supposed to steal. Somebody else will steal 1 goat. The same Nigerians that say it's a politician is supposed to steal, they will pour this petrol on that person and burn that, and put tire and burn that person to death. So this is a problem we have. Politics and activism, the end results are the same. They are supposed to be for the greater good. None of them is supposed to be for personal good, for the greater good. The people that are doing activism or advocacy are pointing out the problem and say, this is the problem. The people in politics are solving the problem, which we've not had in Nigeria. And then, if you come to the legislative arm of government, it's mostly populated by advocates, activists, lawyers. It's not by technocrats. Because the legislative arm of government is supposed to be your employed activists that are holding executive accountable. We wouldn't be having this space that we are having today if the National Assembly had simply done what it's supposed to be, which is to hold executive accountable and say, you've not done this well, this is what you need to do. If the people at the National Assembly have stood up to say, no, what Tinubu did is absolute nonsense. What do you think? How dare you go and put in what do you call this thing, an administrator? Which constitution told you to do that? That's what they were supposed to do. But you see, because we are voted in what we call politicians to go and stay in that place, all they are thinking about is about how much they are going to give them. $25,000, according to People's Gazette, is reporting that as the lawmakers were giving $25,000, which is just 40 million naira. These are people who, in the whole world, the Nigerian National Assembly members are among the highest paid in the world. They are among the highest paid in the world. And yet, $25,000 meant something to them. They were ready to sell their constituency, their constituents, and everything. So, this dichotomy, when we do it, we are also killing ourselves by saying there are certain people that should be in politics. Showore should not be doing poor. Why shouldn't he? Or he should be on the street receiving tear gas. And then other people will be walking in and destroying the country. If he has the capacity to go in there and fix this thing. So let's stop that whole thing. It's a mindset that they plant in us. And I will tell you something. If you remember, there was a politician that spoke here. And the other day, just yesterday, I'm sorry, I'm just digressing a little bit, but this particular thing is also part of the crux of the problem that we have. I was telling my friend, I say anytime I'm talking, we know, especially with the ones we call politicians, they always quick to say, oh, Aisha, you know you are not a politician. Aisha, you know you are an advocate. Aisha, you know you're an activist. I'm not an activist. I don't do label. The day I am no longer lazy, the day I am no longer selfish, because the only reason why I'm not running for office is because I'm selfish. I love my time and I love my big mouth. You understand? What I can say now as an individual, Aisha, if you elect me into office, I can't say some of them. I refused to stand up for the national anthem because I knew the way and process they passed that law was not good. I could do that as an individual. If I'm an elected official, I cannot do it because I am responsible. I am representing a certain people. So I'm no longer in charge of me as me. So please, let's not keep doing this. Oh, somebody is supposed to be on the street making demands. Other people are supposed to be in there destroying. It can't work. That's what we've been doing. People have done advocacy for a long time. It is time for them to go in there. Let's push them to the National Assembly. Let's go and have them there so that they at least when some of these things come in, they will do checks and balances. They will check the executive. The executive, when they bring in a padded budget, they will look through every line item and say, no, this money you are wasting it. You bought chair before. Why are you buying chair now? Why are you buying cars for yourself? Let's have advocates, activists, whatever, that will go to the National Assembly and say, no, no more buying of car. Anybody that is coming here, if they want a car, let them buy cars themselves. We need to disrupt the National Assembly positively. We need to see people who are not afraid of anyone, who will say, no, this is the way it is. What we have now are cowards because we call them politicians. We say they are the ones that can do it. Thank you. Anna, over here to you.
Yeah, so I think those are very critical things that we need to always outline. The fact that this activism and
activism and this. They will be telling you, oh, you are activists. You should know. Meanwhile, they are destroying our country. You want me to see that? Oh, I should be carrying placard so that you look at me and say, Aisha is such a good I'm not an activist.
Politicians work hard to
I'm not an activist. I want a Nigeria that work. Biko, you people help that Nigeria, let it work.
Imagine the amount of work that the executive have put in. When are we going to start doing our own work and stop sitting back and thinking that, oh, somebody's going to... Today, everybody seems to be, oh, we should protest. If everybody come out on their own street and start protesting...
Protests have started, though.
It doesn't have to be that one person calls up to a meeting point.
Exactly. I'm on the street, you're on the street, we are angry, I don't like what happened. Protests have started. Nobody is going to say to anybody, come.
There was a coup in Turkey. The people took to the streets in different ways. There was people that called them. Same thing in Sudan. Even though they cut off their internet, they took to the streets in different ways. Nobody called them together. But Nigeria, every day will be waiting that, oh, one popular person has not called us out. So please, let's move forward. I'm just going to call, I think, one trader you spoke on. Let's go to...
About the hope, okay.
Madam Aisha, I thought activism and politics.
Sorry, let's not do that. Let's just wait. If you just raise your hand, we'll get the mic to you. I think, praise Alex. You go for it. Alex, if you're not there, I've got Bumi. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello, I'm here.
All right, praise, go for it.
Me?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Aisha.
You're a bit muffled. Praise, Alex, you're a bit muffled. I don't know if you're using an earpiece or something. Can you speak up better?
Okay. Let me tell you now.
Yeah, better, thank you.
All right. So thank you, Madam Aisha. This is really wonderful. So for me, I'm appreciating all these suggestions because right now we are looking for a solution, and the matter at hand requires an urgency. I've been
seeing a lot of criticism, talking, but this keep getting.
I'm trying to get this message, the link. Okay, okay. Apologies, please. I'm trying to get the link where we can. For those who are interested, please just click on the link, put your name, email, where do you normally vote and stuff like that, because that helps so as we know for it to be distributed. I'm trying to see if the link opens. Okay, yeah, first name, surname, email, phone number, and then which state are you, where do you vote or intend to vote. Then you just put something in there. Oh yeah, this is such simple information. The People's Opposition. Okay, fantastic. Okay. So, why is this? Why am I not seeing this thing? Oh, sorry, please. I'm just trying to get this thing done. I know this. Which other is this? Oh, discussion is on Twitter X, on my Twitter handle. Yes. Okay. So I've just put in a link there. Yes, fantastic. You will see the link there. So please, what you do, click on it if you like to be part of this whole discussion. It's work. We are building. Let's build an opposition. Let us be the opposition. Let us have a people's opposition so that we will be a formidable force that nobody will just be taken for granted. Politicians will not take us for granted. We can hold them accountable wherever, however, all over the country. Let's do that. So that is this there. Please go ahead. Go ahead, please, and click on the link. And I just read this. I'm going to go back to this thing, to the X space.
The fact that we need to bring this thing back to ground zero. We did not put you there, and you do not deserve to there. So whether we'll have another election or something, so because they're not going to play by the rules. So if we say that we want electoral reform, these people are not going to play by the rules. They're not going to play by the rules, so that we don't waste our energy. Then I also feel like I agree with what the guy that spoke about a partyless protest, in the sense that let's not make it an obedient thing, because Nigeria is really polarized at this moment. It's either it is ethnic division or it is party division and whatnot. But if we are all centering on the suffering of that, everybody is suffering, whatever your party. I think we can all agree on that. If we have a partyless movement or protest that is geared towards changing that is geared towards as much as the protest will be partyless, it should have a goal, which is to bring everything back to ground zero. We did not vote for this. We can still, I don't think that it's too late. 2025 is too late to talk about something that happened in 2023. That is the thing with Nigerians. We feel like, once something has happened, it has happened, let's move forward. Just that learned helplessness that we've all gotten used to. We can still recall it. We can bear that grudge, because that is
it's
how
not clickable.
All of this came to be, to begin with.
It was clickable.
I think somebody also
no,
said,
it's clickable. I just clicked on it.
That we don't gather in a physical place, it kind of
Please try it again. Can somebody try it and
makes
see
it
whether
easy
it's
for our
clickable?
energy to be diffused. Because you see, when you have an argument with somebody online, you can just
Or maybe
stop the
is it?
person and then
I
you
can't.
move
Oh
and that energy is
no!
diffused. But if it's a physical
I just
location,
clicked on it. What do I do?
we'll ash it out and still find a way to get to an agreement. And then that also, there's not everybody, we might feel like because many of us are online, then many people are online. No, there are many Nigerians that are not online and that will never come online, and they are also important, and we need those numbers as well. So I feel like we need to start having, as much as these online spaces are good, but we also need to get ourselves to physical. We need to go back to, because that's what these politicians do. All their politicking, all their plotting and all of that, I don't think they do it on spaces. They get into rooms and they talk about these things. And then as much as I'm also talking about protests and all of that, I feel like we also need to have small numbers, because at the end of the day, this is something that we've always said, that these people that are controlling 200 million Nigerians, determining our destiny, they are not many. It's just that they are organized. So we also need to have those we need to have a small number, just like I'm a Christian, so let me use this biblical example. Jesus had the 120, he had the 70, and then he had the 12.
What do I
feel like
do
we also need to
now?
do that. We should have this in our organizing. We should have this small setup that these are people that decide, because see, many Nigerians are not.
So
You see some comments that some people make, and you are discouraged, like, how are we going to redeem this nation with the way Nigerians are thinking? And I've come to realize that expecting everybody to have sense is not going to work. We just need a few people.
So I'm just trying to, sorry please, what I'm trying to do now, for those who want to join, I'm just going to drop my email address. Try to, okay, I should try and unpin it. Okay, I've just unpinned it. Let me do something. Because sometimes you will need to copy, find the link. Okay. Please. I'll put it again. So try this one that I've put now. Let me see. Okay, I've unpinned it. I've even put it out again. Please try it and see. Let me see.
Attention to communication is really key, and that is where another point I wanted to make that I forgot. That's where another point that I wanted to make comes in. We need to bring in, I don't know, somebody was making the excuse for Peter Obi that he cannot do it. You have to. If you want to lead this nation, you have to. Nigerians need, because Nigerians are so discouraged. We need.
Oh.
They need somebody that they believe in. Shawore has been calling for people. Nigerians obviously don't buy into Shawore as much as he's somebody that is ready for a revolution. Nigeria want to follow somebody that they believe
Nigeria
in.
not good, but how do we
Peter
forget
Obi does not even, whoever
building
it is
the
that chooses, the person doesn't even need to do more than one day.
Yeah, Shiloh is saying,
Nigerians
yeah,
just need
because
to
a lot
see
of the
that
other
person.
people, they don't participate. What's happening?
Just give a, I don't know, is it a wave of hand or whatever?
It's the,
Because
oh, it's
Nigerians
the same.
are so
Wow.
discouraged, and that thing of leadership is that, well, I don't think.
Can you send me an
one day,
email
one morning,
then?
Nigerians should just wake up and they'll
Let
come
me
out.
see,
I
so that I'll
doubt it.
follow.
I doubt it. We really need somebody or a few persons to just, egg the people on, and then we take it from there. Okay, that's fine. Let's see how we start mobilizing. I think there's going to be a link in a few minutes in terms of register so we can continue this conversation and start building a community around that. So there'll be a link provided soon. We'll just move it to other people in the house. I don't know, Madam Aisha, you want to say something?
Yes, okay, so I've just put out the link. So I'm not sure. So go ahead and share it in a way that people can see it. I just saw